Citrus Nation, welcome. Today we're going to be doing another Leatherface breakdown. Today we're going to be doing Leatherface in his Pretty Lady variation. And for those of you who aren't familiar, this is essentially the zoner variation of Leatherface, which is very nice because Leatherface doesn't have projectiles in any variation but this. So he gains, obviously like you guys saw, the low, the mid, and the up. The up cannot be done in the air, but all the other ones can. So let's go ahead and talk about the pros and cons of this variation. First off, obviously he has projectiles. That's a big pro. Any of the EX versions will toss them back. And the low one will it's a hard knockdown. So the goal of this variation is going to be the opposite of every other one. Every other variation for Leatherface has been, okay, let's get up close, let's put the pressure on him, let's somehow find a way to get in and rattle his cage. This one, not so much, because without his Butcher Vortex or his killer stance with the chainsaw cancel and the pressure that applies, you really don't have a whole lot you can do up close. He's just a slow, punishable character at this point. So what you want to do is you want to use the range you have with the back two, the different, almost mid-screen combos that he has. Look at that. That's so much range. The quick different cancels and all of that. What you want to do is you want to use those to knock him back or keep him away. You want to just keep him at bay because a lot of these will grab him out of the sky also. So if you can go into those and kind of keep him away, and then when he is back, just start zoning him. That's what this variation does best. So you can hop a tiny bit off the ground and do it. You can EX him in the air as well as on the ground. One thing you want to keep in mind is do not EX the forward one when they're back there, because it does 6 damage when the regular does 8. And in case you're wondering why you would ever EX it, the EX one carries them. So that's pretty good if you're going to combo into it, and then it will carry them back. So that's one thing that I found very useful, is EXing it to throw them all the way back, because if you're a character and you want to zone and they're all the way back there, that's half the battle. So mixing it up between the air and the ground ones to help control both lanes, the air and the ground, is a very useful technique. As you can see, he throws them fast, there's not a lot of punish time, and it's a powerful projectile. 8% for projectile is not bad. So just keep in mind not to do the EX unless they're up close. And you can combo into that with anything, with his low, or you could do his pop-ups, or even you could just go into the string where it's just mid, the 1-2 mid overhead. So you can mid overhead and then throw it. You can cancel it at any point into that. So that's one thing that I found is very useful, is to throw them full screen with the EX version. But again, like we talked about, don't EX it when they're all the way back here. What you can EX is his low, because that throws them into a hard knockdown, so now they have to sit there and block the next one. Unless they're going to wake up and teleport or something like that, they have to sit there and block it, because hard knockdown gives you enough time to throw it. So the chainsaw is right in their face by the time they get up. So that's one thing that I found very useful. And outside of that, there's really not a whole lot to this variation. Obviously it's the zoner variation, so you gain the 3 different projectile attacks, which Leatherface has no projectiles in any other variations. But the trade-off between him being able to apply pressure up close and him gaining a projectile is very one-sided to everyone's play style. If you like to play the projectiles and you feel like you have a better grasp of, okay, well, I can read people, from back here easier, I can kind of keep them at bay better than I can go into chainsaw cancels and things like that, then you know what, maybe this variation is for you. For those people who like to apply the pressure and they like playing that mental game of being in their head, canceling the unblockables, having the Butcher's Vortex, things along those lines, then maybe this variation is not for you, because he does lose out on a lot of his up-close attacks. Granted, he still has, things like that, but it's still not as great to me. I like playing the other variations because it's more in your face and up close, and I feel like you can get higher damaging combos. This variation, though, again, like we talked about, you can cancel any of them into his overhead, or his low, but in this variation, you can cancel them into that low, which if it hits is a hard knockdown. So you can see how that kind of keeps them at bay, but his range really works to his advantage. So if you find them up close in this variation, go ahead and, you know, just focus on knocking them back, and then just kind of go from there. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and we'll get to them as soon as possible. If you have any comments, you know, go ahead and let us know. If you like this video, why don't you go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, so make sure you never miss a video. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.